coffee shop is a comfortable place for most people.
A few more minutes. But yeah, I got you. Hold it out nice and loud. Hold it up high, okay?
Side, here hot. Here hot.
It's estimated 200 million people across the globe who live with an intellectual or developmental disability.
It's estimated in our country that 80% of people with disabilities don't have jobs. And it's not because they don't want a job, it's because the opportunity has not been made for them.
Thank you.
So this idea to open a coffee shop hit me.
Thank you.
Why don't we create a place where people with and without disabilities come together, share a moment over a cup of coffee, and have an experience with someone with a disability that maybe they've never had before.
Hello, my name is Bennett, and I work at Beau's Coffee.
I think we could all agree that having a job gives you a sense of identity, gives you a sense of purpose, makes you feel valued in this world, and for people with disabilities, that is sometimes a struggle. When you walk through the door and you see them making coffee and taking orders and keeping the shop looking so nice.
That's what this coffee shop's all about. It creates a bridge from where people with disabilities are to where people without disabilities are, brings them together, lets them experience each other and see the humanity in one another. This place is really kind of a portal. It's a place of transformation. When people come in and they see what they see and they feel what they feel, they hear what they hear, they cannot unsee it, unfeel it, or unhear it. When you come in and see them working, doing a job that you could do, someone perhaps without a disability, that's powerful.
This is just the beginning of something amazing.
Keep your seatbelt on, because it's going to be a great ride.
So Beau's Coffee is a chain of coffee shops across the country. Our shop in Houston is our 17th shop that we've opened, and we are focused on employing people with disabilities. To date, we have hired over 400 people with disabilities that work across all of our shops. The inspiration behind Beau's Coffee is our two youngest children, Biddy and Beau. We have two children with Down syndrome, biological children, which is very unusual. There aren't even statistics on it. It goes back to you're afraid of what you don't know. And when Beau was born and we were told he had Down syndrome and we didn't know anything about Down syndrome, we were scared. We were sad.
We really didn't know much of anything about people with Down syndrome other than we thought they looked different, right? And shame on us. My wife and I always say you have two choices in life with most things. You either deal with it or you don't deal with it. When Beau was born, we just dove in. We just researched, talked to as many people as we could about it, and learned as much as we could about it.
When Beau was born, I can tell you that my husband and I went through a period of kind of grieving the son we thought we were going to have before we could embrace the wonderful gift that Beau was to us. And interestingly, 5 years later, we have another daughter with Down syndrome. And we cried a lot of tears again, but not because we were sad. It was because we knew what a blessing Down syndrome was. And we were in a headspace, a heart space, where we were embracing this second child with Down syndrome. Biddy is our 13-year-old daughter, and she is the life of the party. She exudes love and joy. She will give you a hug. Oh my gosh, well, look who's here. So this is Biddy.
Hi.
I was just telling everybody how wonderful and sweet and kind you are.
Yeah.
And I said you love to dance.
Yeah.
You always bring the party wherever you go.
Yeah.
So we have lots of dance parties at Biddy and Beau's Coffee because you love that part of it, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Biddy.
Welcome.
It is a real blessing for us to have two children with Down syndrome. Our oldest daughter is autistic, so 3 out of our 4 children have disabilities, and it's part of the human condition. It is the way they were created, and we love them exactly the way they are. We wouldn't change a thing about them.
When you have one child born with a disability, that's certainly a wake-up call. But when you have a second child born biologically to you with a disability, that really gets your attention. And we realized that we needed to make sure we could do all that we could so that people got to know that people with disabilities are, number one, 100% human beings.
As my husband and I thought about our children's future, we wanted to create some opportunities for them to have employment, and more importantly for every guest that walks through the door to see people with disabilities working and earning a paycheck and hopefully going back to their place of work and hiring someone with a disability too.
Coffee is one of those sort of equalizers, right? Everybody knows what to do when they go into a coffee shop. If you work there, you know what your job is, and if you're there at the coffee shop for something, you know what to do. You walk in, you order off the menu, you pick up your drink. So it's a very normal atmosphere, and that's one of the things we're trying to do is normalize seeing people with disabilities in the workplace.
I think the real power in this coffee shop is the sense of community it creates. It's people with and without disabilities coming together and doing life. So our coffee shop started on the East Coast, and we've been interested in growing ever since we opened our doors 7 years ago. We knew from the moment we opened our doors in Wilmington that we were onto something because we were hearing people were making the trip to come see what we were doing. So we have a variety of baked goods. We have muffins, delicious muffins, enormous crispy treats, cake pops, bagels with a variety of spreads. There's really something for everybody on the menu. In addition to all our specialty drinks, we have smoothies and frappes. We have the lattes, cappuccinos, Americanos.
We reached the moon.
I can guarantee you that if you come to a Biddy & Beau's coffee shop, you're going to leave with a smile on your face. It's a very warm and welcoming environment. Our employees enjoy connecting with our guests. We have lots of high fives, dance parties. We have a map on the wall where you can pin where you visited from, because people make the trip from all over the country to come see our coffee shops and see what's possible.
Initially, it wasn't our dream to be where we are right now. We just wanted to open one shop in Wilmington, North Carolina for Biddy & Beau to have a place to work one day. And then all of a sudden we realized there's a lot more at stake here.
Bosses over here are just great.
Let's do another one, please. Let's do a 16 ounce.
They always deliver a positive attitude.
We have seen some real transformation come from our employees when you give them responsibilities, when you trust them to do a great job, which they always do. It's life-changing, and it's not just life-changing for the person who has the job. It affects their whole family. It affects the guests that come in here and see what's possible when you hire people with disabilities. So it's good for everybody. It's good for business. It's good for community.
One of the reasons why I think it's such a happy place is because I think most people are good. And I think most people have struggled most of their lives, people without disabilities, to connect with people who do have disabilities. They just don't know how to do it. So I think when you come into a coffee shop that is really geared towards making that connection, it's very satisfying.
You're going to start your day somewhere with a cup of coffee, and we feel like why not start it at a place that is creating jobs for people with disabilities, that's showing the world what's possible when you value, accept, and include people that are different from you.
We would love for everyone to come here to visit at Biddy & Beau's.